What's up guys, my name's Rishabh and you're watching the Cube Wealth Show. This channel is powered by the Cube Wealth app, and if you've landed up here, you're probably trying to figure out how you can find the best mutual funds or how you can pick the right mutual funds for yourself. But honestly, what I'm going to tell you today is why you should never pick mutual funds on your own. But before I can do that, I have to ask you to subscribe to this channel and hit the bell icon so you keep getting great content around how to build your wealth. So let's start by looking at how most people go about finding the right mutual fund. The first thing people do is you will open up Google and you will look for the best mutual funds to invest in 2020 or whatever year you're in, and that'll take you to a research website, something like a Money Control or a Value Research, where you can read about the fund. You can look at the best performing funds in the large cap, mid cap and small cap categories and look at their performance at best for the past 3 to 5 years. Does that sound familiar? Because that is what brings us to the problem. The problem is most people don't know enough to make these decisions on their own. I mean, how do you know if you should invest in a small cap, mid cap or large cap fund? And any portal can give you a list of funds to invest in. But how do you choose from that, and how do you decide which one's the best for you? More importantly, if you are a slightly more evolved user, you don't have the time to monitor statistics on like Sharp, Trinos, Sortino, etc. Right? You may end up picking a fund that has already performed. And when you pick funds based on returns, how do you consider the risk taken to deliver that return? The returns shown are mostly for previous years, 1 or 3 years, right? They don't mean that the fund will keep performing. The fund manager could have changed, the fund's focus could have changed, the underlying asset category may have run into trouble in the real world, and basically this fund may not perform well in the future. So while you're looking at historical data and thinking that you're making an informed decision, you might be making a mistake. So what's the solution? Well, let's start by looking at 4 key pointers, right? The first thing you need to think of is the perfect portfolio. Most people think that the first step in beginning their investment journey is to choose the right mutual fund. No, the first thing you need to do is to figure out what kind of portfolio you're going to get and how you're going to break up your investments. If you don't know how to get the perfect portfolio, check out the video, click on the eye icon above and watch a specific video we've done earlier on how to build the perfect portfolio. Now, the second thing to look at is to analyze your investment portfolio. If you already have existing funds, right? Now, if you have an existing portfolio, a mutual fund advisor, an expert, can help you analyze the good, the bad and the ugly. You could even do this yourself by taking the perfect portfolio checkup on the Cube Wealth app. It's free. You just click the link in the description, head to the app and take a free portfolio checkup. Find out if the funds that you have in your portfolio are right for you, which ones are good, which ones are bad, and then have a full-fledged conversation with a wealth advisor to help understand what makes sense for your investment. Now, coming back to how to pick the right mutual fund. This is tip number 3, what to buy. Now, a quality mutual fund advisor will be able to guide you on what kind of fund is right for you from over 17,000 options, right? So you shouldn't just pick funds simply based on star ratings and historical performance. There's a lot more that needs to be looked at when you're purchasing a fund. And this is not just for equity, this is even for debt funds. No matter what kind of fund you're buying, you need to look at a lot of things. For example, you need to look at the consistency of results. You need to look at the fund management pedigree. You need to look at the fund house itself, the risk, and there are various other complications and parameters which we could get into, which we could try to understand, but it's just so much easier to leave this job to an expert and focus more on the joy of building wealth. Number 4 thing on our list is what to sell. Now, a lot of people just completely leave this out when they're going out to pick the right mutual fund, because any bank relationship advisor or distributor will just tell you about all the funds you should buy. They'll recommend how this fund is great for you, how that fund will get you great returns. But who will tell you when to sell? Are these guys there to track your funds? They're not. They basically will leave once they've sold to you. So you need someone who can track your funds, who has the knowledge of why you should sell, when you should sell, and what kind of balance needs to be there in your portfolio. and we're just too busy. Most of us are too busy in our daily lives to track all of this. Even if we try to, it's just too much work, and you need someone you can offload all of this work to. So it's better to just get a wealth coach, get a wealth advisor, and try to automate as much of this work as possible. And by this point, you've realized that you are not the right person to do this, that you need an expert to help you through this. My suggestion is click the link in the description and download the Cube Wealth app. It's going to basically give you a list of quality mutual funds. If you already have a mutual fund portfolio, you can take the free portfolio health checkup and see whether the funds that you chose on your own are good, bad, or ugly. And if you already have some of the funds that we recommend, then awesome. If you have funds that are not on the list, you may choose to kind of switch some of them and buy high quality funds that you'll find for free in the Cube Wealth app. Now, before you leave, let's take a quick look at your key takeaways from this video. Number 1, start with the perfect portfolio. Number 2, analyze your current investments. Number 3, what to buy. Talk to a quality mutual fund advisor who can guide you on this. And similarly, number 4, when to sell. You need someone who can help you understand when you should sell and look at your portfolio from a broader perspective. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you drop a like and hit subscribe. If you have any questions, just drop a comment and someone from our team will answer your query as soon as they can.